Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And welcome to Throwback's Toy Review. With you today, Uncle BJ. And today we're going to look at the Star Wars The Mandalorian speeder bike with Scout Trooper and Grogu. Now, this just came out. We picked this up at Walmart for about 20 bucks. It was originally the ridiculous price of 40 something dollars, to which we obviously said, oh, we're going to wait for clearance on that one, as we wisely did so. And today we're going to take a look. It comes in a very nice vintage style box with the Kenner logo, and very cool. Like many new packaging, has a lot of excessive, unnecessary writing that doesn't tell you about the character or the scene. It just says, don't eat this in 7 different languages. And we can already tell this is a slightly updated version of the Scout Trooper, or Biker Scout, whichever you'd prefer to say. And it comes with his bike. It looks pretty cool. So there it is. There's the box. And let's get at that bad boy. What do you say? Alright. I'll try to do this with as minimal damage as possible. And the first thing we pull out, Mandalorian. There's some kind of here's where this goes, that's where that goes. He sits on it like this kind of thing. And there's that. Let's get the rest of this guy out of here. Right. And the first thing I see, which I wasn't, even though they showed a picture on the box of him carded, I wasn't entirely certain if that was going to be the case, because sometimes boxes are deceiving. And very good looking, the Vintage Collection carded Scout Trooper. And this is from the TV show The Mandalorian, not Return of the Jedi. For that show, the costume is considerably different. It's considerably more weathered and worn insanely inaccurately compared to how it's supposed to be worn as seen in Return of the Jedi. But more on that later. And you can see he's part of this wave here of all the goodies that these are showing up now, and few and far between select Walmarts near you. And we'll get to him in a second. Well, first let's look at his bike. So his bike is wrapped up like it's ready for hurricane season. Alright. Well, and it's mostly put together already, so that's cool. It's got kind of a light gray, off-white, kind of dirty white color to it. It's about the shape and size of every other speeder bike that they've put out. This one, I don't know, has kind of a better feel to it. My initial thoughts are it's not as fiddly, not as wobbly wibbly as some of the different speeder bikes in the past. Let's see, he has a removable pouch on the back here, saddlebag. Alright. Yeah, and I think that's originally the speeder bike that came out in 1983 had the gimmick of it blows up, and it also had to deal with a completely different Scout sculpt that we'll look at here in a second. So it's a lot different. Very good update. And what else is in the box? Just the stand for it, which is kind of cool. I do have the Black Series version of this, but I don't know where I put it, so we won't be looking at that today. There we go. Alright, so now you can display it with the illusion of speeding, as speeder bikes do, flying, floating, because nothing in Star Wars has wheels. Almost nothing in Star Wars has wheels. Some things do, but it hovers. And we'll be putting him on there. Alright, so not a lot in the box. I thought Grogu was going to be there, but now I see, oh, he's hiding in his little bag in here. It's pretty cool. And as much as I really do hate opening these things, guess I got to do it, huh? Alright, here goes. Hurts my soul. Gotta be done. Let's pull him out of here gently. Alright. How well that's going to come out, but that is his holdout blaster, or his boot pistol, whatever you want to call it. I'll go ahead and put that in his holster, which his holster is, see, they've been doing these action figures of biker scouts so long, going off to the same original kind of prototype costume that they did, where the holster had two little straps going around the boot, which as all of us biker scouts know, that is inaccurate. They are riveted to the boot and they have no straps. And you will see the knee pads upside down, and there's a gap here between his chest and his cummerbund, completely inaccurate to how it's supposed to be worn. But whoever dressed these guys for The Mandalorian didn't bother to look at any previous pictures, and they just went with it. And then they had to stick to it. And he's nicely weathered. Got that Imperial remnant look, like, hey guys, we're still the Empire, we're just a little ragtag, we're a little dirty. And this is a mostly new sculpt, I'm going to say. Got very good articulation. Got crazy articulation in the neck area. I guess that's, you know, so he can look all around when he's on the bike. And you can move him around on there. He can do some Van Damme exercises. Very nice, very nice. Alright, I like him so far. I like him so far. Let's do some quick comparisons. What do you say? So there he is by himself. There he is next to the last Scout sculpt. Say that 3 times fast. And this is the Nick Sant version. Yes, you heard me right. It's Nick Sant. He's not bloody Captain Rex, you knuckleheads. And there's the Scout that came before him from the vintage collection. Mine's getting a little old and wonky there. Let's see which one came before him. Which was, I believe, the Power of the Jedi Scout, which was our first, in my opinion, nice looking Scout that was only slightly posed, not hyper posed to a I'm left to just be sitting on my speeder bike pose. Which of course I'm talking about this fella from I want to say it was 1996 Power of the Force, which you'll see he doesn't have a lot of articulation. Not to go on about these other Scouts too much, but he also has some inaccuracies in his paint scheme and design, because somehow the people that make action figures can't seem to find good pictures of Scouts from, I don't know, the actual movies they're in. And another quick note on this guy. Back in the day, I took one of these guys and I made a custom of one that could actually stand up and look somewhat decent. And let's see, do I have any R3 and 3/4 inch Scouts? Of course I do. It's the vintage one from 1983 Return of the Jedi. And to my surprise, he actually is probably one of the best looking ones still to this day. Really good sculpt on this guy. And just for giggles, I have a wee one there. Little wee Scout from a game, some kind of game. And then I have this big giant guy. Hello, guys. Really good looking Scout. Doesn't scale with anything. They did seem to get the boot right though. So good on them for doing that. Alright. So, you guys don't want to hear me talk about all these other Scouts. Oh, I did forget one. Here is the Black Series Biker Scout or Scout Trooper, which has been kind of sitting on my shelf for a while, and surprisingly stands up fairly well. Still not the best sculpt. I don't have the newest version, but I'm guessing it was mostly just a repaint of this guy, so I don't need any more inaccurate boot holsters and gray pouches and cummerbunds that don't match themselves. But I digress. Looks good, right? But we're here to talk about this young fella. And again, I do like the weathering. I know I'm going to like this posability when we put him on the bike. I think a lot of us were disappointed that the first time in live action we see Scouts beyond Return of the Jedi, they are completely looking like a soup sandwich. I don't know who dressed those guys, but they didn't watch Return of the Jedi. Alright, so that's enough of that. We do have one more thing to look at real quick, and that is wee baby Grogu. And does he even come out of this bag? I thought that he did. Nope. He is an accessory, folks. That's crazy. What the heck? He's just a thing in a bag. What do you know? But well, it is done well. Looks good. Looks like the prop that they used. Pretty cool that he just happened to have a man purse with him, so he could just throw him in there and cause all kinds of chaos. So there he is there. And whoops. Put him next to his bunker that Han Solo blew the door off of, looks like. Alright. So let's try to get him on the bike. What do you say? Here's your bike. Alright. Ha. Some of these, the vintage collection figures, I swear to God, I'm scared to death to try to pose them in any crazy way, because I'll always go back to my nightmare story of that time I opened up my Knight of Ren and his arm literally just ripped off from me touching him. So ever since then, I don't try to open figures, but today is a day of opening, folks. So there he is. He's on the bike, and looks cool. I do love that added articulation in the head. Gives him a lot of personality. Looks natural riding it. The Scout Troopers, they do show up a lot in The Mandalorian. There's another, I think at least 2 episodes they're in. And despite the fact that they can't dress themselves, it's great to see Scout representation. Let's see. Get Grogu on him. And there he is. He's got Grogu, and he's taking off. Ready to get his head beat in by IG-11. Alright, so I like it. I'm impressed. What do you guys think? Did anybody else pick this up? I know I keep talking about how Hasbro is very overpriced these days, which I will die on that hill. I believe that is a fact. He's very well done, and he's good quality. The figure looks good. He didn't break off in my arms as some of the vintage collection figures have. Detail is great, sculpt is great, bike looks good, it's nice and sturdy, he sits on it good. You can pose it all kinds of ways. So, very dramatically fly that sucker around. Let's look at Grogu just a bit more before I forget. I think that's kind of unfortunate that he's just forever trapped in this bag, but I guess on the bright side it makes it look a lot better. It'll stay on him on the bike, it won't fall off. Here's a very similar Grogu I have. It's about the same scale. Yeah. So, about right. It's the job done. Here's Grogu next to his slightly larger counterpart that goes with the Black Series. Not too different in size, really. You could probably switch them back and forth and use either one. I don't know. But no need to compare him to every single Grogu. I'll put him back on his Scout Trooper. So, there he is. Oh, let's put his weapon in his hand that he can't shoot a Coke can with. Alright. So there he is, folks. The Star Wars Biker Scout, Scout Trooper, Speeder Bike Scout Trooper, and Grogu from Star Wars The Mandalorian. Yeah, A+ for me. I dig it. Price was a little too much, but if you see these guys on clearance, man, go get them. They're good. I think if I had the time and just cared a little more than I do, I'd probably do a little paint touch-up, maybe sand off those inaccurate bootstraps. But I do like his gun. I like his pouch. I guess I was hoping for the removable helmet, but you know what? I like this even better. Because now he's got a whole lot of detail, a whole lot of personality, and man, it just looks good. So, there he is. What do you think? You picking this guy up? Is he going to go with your Mandalorian collection? Don't be putting him in your Return of the Jedi collection now, because he's going to look goofy. All the rest of the scouts are going to look at him like he don't know how to dress himself. But there he is. And all of his scouty goodness. So, thanks again. We'll wrap it up here, and we'll throw it back. Till next time. See ya.